Hi everyone, welcome in for another reading back into the wild. I was just in meditation to do this reading and I got pulled deep into the energy and could tell that things were shifting into that deeper sort of space, and Spirit prompted me to go ahead and just jump into the reading. So we're going to do a channeled message today. I do have some notes of the things that I was being drawn to in meditation, but I'm going to go over those I think in a little bit. I'm just being really drawn into doing the cards, and I'm actually going to use these cards that I just got for the first time. My husband got me these cards for my birthday recently, so we're going to work with them. And I am just feeling so much fiery energy right now. We are still in the energy of the full moon in Sagittarius, and so I just got the moon card. So yeah, we're in this full moon in Sagittarius, and the Spirit is just really pulling me into just going into these cards right away. So there must be some sort of message here for whoever this message is for. This is definitely something that you feel passionate about. I have been feeling this fiery energy from this full moon. I dropped a card, so I'm gonna grab it. Let's see what it is. I have been feeling this fiery energy from the moon over these last few days, and it just it's a very deep space. And yeah, when Spirit was pulling me in and guiding me to go ahead and jump into the reading, I can feel it right now. It's this like dichotomy of the fire and water, and we have the card that fell on the floor was the Queen of Cups. And so the Queen of Cups is representing, again, this like deep emotional space where she's in control of her emotions. There was in a reading I watched earlier, this is just what it looks like to me. It's what my eye got drawn to. But in a reading I watched the other day, she was talking about, and I can't remember which reading it was, and I'm sorry to the reader, but she was talking about how, I think it was Witch and Scythe. Check out her channel anyway, Witch and Scythe. I'll put the link down below. She's amazing. But she was talking about how, I think Aphrodite is depicted in that painting in the clamshell. And so it's like this archetypal depiction of this softness is being contained within a protective outer shell. And this depiction of like, oh, Virgo energy. Yes, Virgo, Aphrodite and Virgo energy of softness, beauty, yeah, being contained and protected by that harder outer shell. And I'm getting a lot of this like fire and water energy. I'm attuned to that pretty naturally within myself. I have a Pisces moon, but I'm an Aries rising and a Gemini sun. So I have this this feel of energy. Yes, and here we have the midday sun when the sun is the hottest. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this like real fiery energy, deep passion and emotion, raw energy. The Judgment card. Yeah, this calling. Okay, so let's go into the notes now. Okay, we're gonna go into the notes because of the Judgment card coming out. It pertains to this. So whenever I was sitting in meditation, I was thinking about, you know, this full moon in Sagittarius energy, really feeling into that. And some things started to come up. Spirit said, what inspires you? What makes you light up? How can you explore that? And so I was thinking about that feeling, you know, that fiery energy, transforming it from this energy and this feeling into these words and these questions, right? With the intellect and the mind and the air of Gemini. So as I was writing the notes using the form of communication, I had visions, visuals in my mind of the things that light me up and the things that I love to do. And doing these readings is definitely one of those things. And the feeling that it gives me, like, it's confirmation that I know that this is my thing. This is what lights me up. Okay. And as I was thinking about that, I was asking myself what creativity can be found in the smallest things, because it's really like these practical things, these mundane things that we think are so small, or even things that details that we might not pay attention to. And I'll link my previous video down below as well, because it has to do with what details we might be missing. So whenever I was thinking about what creativity can be found in the smallest things, I had this vision of like a child collecting acorns and pine needles and rocks and leaves and different things, and like making art out of it. And how beautiful that is, and how creative that energy is within us when we're children. The innocence of gathering up all these things that seem like they're insignificant and small. They're just there. They're part of the world. They're part of our everyday, but turning it into something beautiful. And now I'm getting like a reference to like blown glass, and I'm looking at the angel blowing the trumpet, and next to the midday sun, when they're blowing glass, it's very hot and they melt the sand, and to be able to to melt it together to create glass. And as it's hot, they blow into a very like long tube where they can move it, maneuver it, and shape it. It's malleable. So yeah, the full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a mutable sign, a fire sign, and it's the depiction of the centaur with the bow and arrow. And so he has built up discernment on how to use his weapon and aim at the target. But when he fires it, especially in like high emotional situations, high intensity, it's like there's also this hope and faith that the arrow is going to reach its target, reach the point that it needs to go. Okay, that's this energy of deciding to take action and set a trajectory forward that you can follow and get to. Yeah, so I'm getting this like the malleability and the flow, right? The arrow flies through the air, floats through the air, and the water flows, and our emotions flow, our thoughts come and go with the air. So yeah, it's this real sense of like applying more heat to the situation, applying more heat to the glass blowing, the molding and shaping of what you're creating at this time. Whoever this message is for, I just heard the word calling. It's your calling. You're being called in toward, oh yeah, the Judgment card. You're being summoned by the angels. Here they're blowing their trumpet. And here in this card, there's an hourglass. So it's time. Like you've been hearing this call. It's time for you to shape and mold your life, to use this heightened energy to bring about the kind of change or creation that you want to bring into the world, bring into your life. So yeah, as I was asking these questions about what lights you up, and thinking about how this lights me up, it was like I was observing myself sitting at the table writing the notes, and the feeling that I had when I saw that and I was doing that confirmed to me that this is my creative space. This is my calling. This is how I'm manifesting the fire of spirit. And when I say that, like the fire of spirit, I mean like that, like primal inner knowing that we have of like right action. And right action in our lives shows up as the next right choice to move us forward, to keep us moving in a state of growth. Not necessarily in the physical. I'm not talking about striving and like perpetually pushing and working and things like that, but of like an inner work and an inner knowing that what you're doing is what's yours to do, right? Like people, my calling, right? I was just talking about that. People talk about their calling, and it's this like feeling and knowing that you have when you're doing it or when you think about doing it that lights you up. That's how you know that that's your thing, okay? And trying different things will help you discover what that is instead of just waiting for it to come, right? You've heard the call, and instead of waiting for the angels to come and do something to make it happen, they're waiting for you. They're saying it's time for you to do something, for you to act, for you to make a choice, a judgment call, and to move forward. Judgment call. So that's a little play on words, right? So I could say like I'm making a judgment call and having to make a choice. But here we have like a more literal depiction of that. This is a literal judgment call. So it might have something to do with maybe you've been asking yourself if you can trust your own judgment. And that one's tough because at least I know for me, and growing up in a belief system that encouraged deferring all of your judgment to other people that were more ordained by God to make choices or decisions, or like philosophies, right? To like, maybe this is a call to like be able to trust your own inner light, your own connection, your own brightness, because that comes from the divine. That inner spark within us is truth and God and love, and that is within all things. And so maybe it's a call to really trust that more for yourself. I'm being drawn to this moon card again, and the moon card talks about illusions and delusions and things in the shadow that maybe we can't really see and depict very well. We can't really make it out fully, right? So maybe you've had to do a deep dive within yourself to remember and figure out this light, which is, I think, our life's work here for all of us, is to remember who we truly are. And once we know who we are, and once we know who we are, we know what ours is to do because we know who we are, right? I know who I am, and so now I know that I can move and operate within my authenticity to bring forth truth and messages for others to apply to their own life and to their own situation, their own discernment, right? I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. or anything like that. I'm only here sharing what's worked for me and the messages that come through from Spirit to me. Okay, and it's taken me a long time to be able to get to that place. I know I've talked about that in these videos lately, but this is also new to me. And I am really prepared to wear my heart on my sleeve in this and live authentically in my truth, in the truth. And the truth is love. It's the highest frequency. It's the highest power. And I was raised Southern Baptist, and my dad was a Southern Baptist preacher. So I know biblical scripture, and there's a verse that says God is love. And for a long time, I didn't understand that. And then I had my awakening and was filled with the Holy Spirit and understand that now God is love. The Bible also says that God is spirit, not that God is a person. God is within and around all of us in all things at all times. And the truth and the spark of that source creator is within everything, within you. So yeah, this is like a deep, really, really, really deep understanding of yourself and a call to fulfill your passions, to trust that you know what's best for yourself, to trust that little voice inside of yourself telling you that you know what to do and where to go. Okay, so I got some oracle cards, and it is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. So this moon energy, I wanted to work with both of these decks of cards because I just felt drawn to doing them. Oh my gosh, okay. Now I realize why, because I was just looking at the deck, and the tarot that we're using is the Solar Kingdom. So that sun and fiery energy, and then the oracle deck is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. So it's showing up even in, like, I just got these cards as a gift, but I wanted to use them both together today because of the energy that I was feeling that was present, but I didn't put it together that it was this moon and sun energy until just now. So we have the waning gibbous with pleasure. So again, what lights you up? What's your passion? What makes you know that you're alive? What helps you feel this connection and this knowing with source and spirit all around you? What makes you feel lit up? Like she's literally lit up from the inside. Okay, so we're establishing the beginning part of this reading is getting into what lights you up. What is your calling? Let's ask Spirit. Let's ask Spirit what this has to do with within this collective. It could be anything. It literally could be anything. The Hermit. So again, shining that light of truth from within yourself, that you know who you are and you know what path you're on, and you have the tools and the knowledge to help you climb these peaks, right? To get to the mountaintop, to shine your light from the mountaintop. So yeah, the Hermit is about being alone, spending time alone to find out these truths and this information, spending time with Spirit in whatever way resonates with you. Spirit is always there, always with us, no matter what we call Spirit, whether we acknowledge Spirit or not. Truth is always there. Spirit is always with us. And Spirit contains all energy, all knowledge, all consciousness. It's infinite. Everything that ever was, is, or will be. And so Our connection with our ancestors is there. Our connection with each other is there. Our connection with ourselves is there. And the deeper that we go into this relationship and understanding with really what's essentially ourselves, because we're all one, there is no separation. The deeper we go and the more that we learn, the more that these things are reflected out back from within ourselves and into our reality. Okay, so let's see what next card we have. The Four of Wands. How beautiful. Again, this fiery energy, wands are associated with fire. And we have these two horses here coming together. Two opposites coming together. That sun and moon energy again showing up. The Four of Wands is all about celebration, deep bonds and connection, sturdy foundation, knowing where we are, who we are, and building from that. Okay, so here we are. We know who we are. We've heard the call. We're discovering who that is and shining this light out from ourselves, and now we're building onto that. Spirit, can we get some more information? Ooh, we have the Strength card. Oh, how beautiful is that? Coming into this bond within ourselves of maybe our more animalistic nature, our stronger, more overpowering nature, being able to sit with that in union with it, not in judgment. Oh, and here we have the infinity symbol, which is a symbol of spirit. So it's showing this connection with spirit and how we can move in our lives to become this more peaceful and balanced person within our own strengths, knowing who we are truly deep inside. Then we have the Hanged Man. And so it's this realization of our own strength, seeing things in a different way, being open to looking at things in a new light. Maybe it's because we didn't really have a choice. See, he's hanging by his foot upside down in this tree. And maybe he chose to do it, maybe he didn't. But either way, he's seeing things in a whole new perspective. And here again, we have this like number 4 with his legs. And it's coming back to this Four of Wands, that foundation, coming from this foundation that we've built. And now we're seeing a whole new perspective from what we've built on. We're growing stronger within ourselves, realizing our inner strength. Spirit, can we get some more information? I'm hearing that Rob Thomas song. I think it's Rob Thomas, where he's talking about the heat from the midday sun. So that fiery energy is very prevalent here. But then we also have like this darker, softer energy, which again, that flow of the water, healing and cleansing, alongside this fiery transformation that we're undergoing with spirit. Okay. The Page of Swords. So yeah, maybe now that we're progressing and we see things for how they truly are, see ourselves for who we truly are, maybe there's new information coming in. Swords have to do with our thoughts, intellect, words, our mind. So yeah, you're opening up to a new way of thinking and having new information come in. The Page of Swords, to me, it's always a card about flipping the script, receiving new information and changing the way we go about things because of that. And the page is new energy, it's young energy. So in the beginning stages of this like new discovery, oh, you can see here, it kind of looks like he's discovering this sword for the first time. Like it's new, something very powerful. He recognizes it's something very powerful that he can make changes with. It's up to us how we wield our sword, right? So when we know who we are, we have a better understanding of how to approach the external world in a more balanced way. Because when we know who we are, external things don't really affect us on the same level, because they're not applied in the same way anymore. Spirit, can we get some more information about the growth here that we're seeing? Okay. And the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. It's a standing still. And see here, he's going over, looking over this pentacle, examining it while they're paused in this field. So it may be a time where you're taking a break and pausing, spending more time with yourself so that you can show up in the external world, in external situations with other people in a way that's more aligned and more within your strength, where you feel that I am in my strength and my sovereignty. And so maybe spending some time alone, going over these new thoughts, new ways of looking at things, so you can build up. The Knight is pretty far progressed within the court cards. You're almost like halfway there with the Knight. You don't have the naivety anymore of the page, and everything is new and I don't really know how to handle it, but I'm gonna try. Now you're at a stage where it's like, I've handled this for a while. I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm capable. So again, maybe sinking more and more into this knowing of who you truly are on a deep soul level. So yeah, it just feels like a really steady progression of being opened up. I see that clamshell opening, opened up to new energy within yourself, opening up to possibly asking what may have been hidden in the shadows and the dark, and illusions and delusions there might be, and looking at those for what they are. Wow, okay, so we have the Page of Wands. So we're still in this court card energy, and we're going back to the page. So it's like our thoughts, these new ways of being, maybe helped us become more grounded in ourselves. And now wands again are associated with fire and that passion. So now we're more grounded within this new awareness of ourselves. Our creative passions are really flowing. So yeah, it's just this steady progression of energies and flowing and ebbing between each one. We have the swords, the pentacles, the wands. Learning as we go how to work with these different energies to create the space that we need to build and make the life that we want. We have the Devil. So yeah, there may be some things that come up that feel tempting, that may want to pull us off and away from these new discoveries, these new thoughts. even maybe this time that we're being called to spend alone, to find that light within us, to really bond with that light within us, to integrate it. Yes, that's the word, integrate it within ourselves, so that we know what it is. We know that our truth is within us. There may be some things along our path, this progression, that come up that try to tempt us away from what we know is our highest and best good. Okay, now the devil isn't all bad. The devil represents the like physical enjoyment, or letting go, and not trying to fit within things perfectly. But it can also be a warning or a call to not let ourselves go too far outside of our own boundaries, our own knowledge of who we are. Just because we may feel tempted to indulge in certain things in the now, instead of allowing ourselves to continue to build and grow towards better and better and better things within ourselves, which is a stronger relationship with ourselves, which manifests in the 3D as a life that we're more and more aligned with our dream of what we want it to be. So these things, these temptations can get us off track, right? But they're not all bad, right? Don't let yourself become a person that is just so rigid and so focused on certain things that they can't see. Maybe some more of the okay, I'm getting them a message of focusing too much on the light, or I'm gonna put it in terms of like perfectionism, right? Trying to be this idea of like what we think is the truth, or love, or righteous, right? This is a big one. This is a big one of self-exploration and asking ourselves truly in our core and deepest truth, without the illusions and delusions of things that may have been hidden from us through being in this 3D plane and all the things that come with it. We're influenced so much, not malevolently by everyone, but everyone is here trying to do their best and live life, but we just don't realize how much of an impact we have on each other, especially how much of an impact that is made on children, and our worldview and the way we see ourselves, and all of those things. And so we can be told that we're a certain thing, no ifs, ands, or buts. But really deep down, we know that there's more to it, that it's not just that. It's like, okay, some of that is very applicable because we live in a 3D world, and because we live in a 3D reality. Like, we can't just jump off a roof and fly just because we want to, or just because, you know, I feel inside that if I just believe enough, I'll be able to do it, right? There are physical limitations in this world because there are universal laws of how everything in the 3D can manifest and physically exist, right? But within ourselves and our deepest truths, there's more to it than that. There's more to it than just what's on the outside, okay? But there can be things that come up in our external world and even our internal world through our thoughts that can pull us in many different directions. And I feel like ever since the Devil card came out, I've been a little distracted of like feeling the energy like pulling me and trying to like and this is Spirit just showing me, you know, giving me an example of the energy and what I'm talking about so that I can share it. So it's this like feeling of this way and that way, right? And not really knowing or understanding who we are at the core. But it's like we forgot. It's not that we didn't know, it's like we forgot. And this all happens to all of us. But it can happen at different points in our lives when we don't stay on track with what we know is the best for us. When we allow ourselves to get pulled further and further and further into the things that sound great in the moment, but might not serve us the best for our whole lives, okay? So finding that balance, looking at things in a different way, not trying to be too rigid, not allowing yourself to explore things and, you know, sniff some flowers that are on the side of the trail instead of just, you know, marching to the end of it just to get to the end of it. We don't want that either, right? There's so much beauty and color along the path, and it's wonderful to explore the things on this earth. But it can also, if we allow ourselves to be pulled, our energy to be pulled away from the path, we can end up straying away from it. And so this discernment of, again, like I'm seeing the centaur of the discernment that he has built up to be able to know how to use his weapon, use his bow and arrow in a way that is for his highest good. Okay. Spirit, can we get some clarification on this Devil card? There's just like, I feel so much confusion and
okay, I found this as well. Can I get some clarification on the Apple card? So much confusion. Check it out.
And my other phone just came on and started talking, so I'll see how that applies when I edit. But again, I feel everything is applicable during your reading. So confusion, trying to get us off track, trying to pull us off the path. Let's see. Last quarter moon. So the last quarter moon, I was actually born under a last quarter moon. And so it's where the moon is starting to get darker, but still looks like it's not depicted the best here, but it still looks like it's a half and half, but it's not, because it's going towards waning, it's going towards the new moon, so it's getting darker. So again, like more confusion. Not that darkness is bad or always confusing or anything like that, it's just the energy of as within, so without, as above, so below. Darkness is a depiction of the things that we don't know, the things that we can't see. And see here we have another hourglass and the time is running low. Not that we're running out of time or anything like that, but it's just the time is coming. I think that the time is now. That's what I just heard. Like Spirit said, the time is now, and it's time to face these things that we've been told over and over and over again that have kept us from realizing the truth. And here we have the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is all about deep connection and relationship on a spiritual and an emotional level. So here we come back again to that water. Yeah, I just heard there's been a time where you've been alone, the hermit period. So maybe you already recognize that you're coming out of this hermit period. If you're aligned with the seasons and your energy is aligned with the seasons, it's the summertime energy here in the northern hemisphere where coming out of your shell and enjoying the sunshine. So maybe there was a time of deep, like a lot of confusion. And then we have the Temperance card. So finding this balance between this dark and this light, the moon and the sun, the unknown and the known, and not letting the unknown overpower us. It's fun. I mean, the unknown is fun and exciting, right? But if we let it get us totally off track, we can lose sight of where we're going. So finding that balance is important. The rising sun. So this fresh new day, fresh new energy, a fresh new perspective of yourself, that you don't have to be all this way or all that way. Doesn't have to be all dark or all light. We are both all the time. And so finding that balance between the two within and allowing it to bring forth new energy, new perspectives, new thoughts, new creativity. Spirit, can we get a final tarot card? The Magician. Yeah, so this alchemy. Oh, and earlier, okay, again, Witch and Scythe. I was watching her video from today and she was talking about how the rose in alchemy is seen as the ultimate alchemical product, outcome. Okay, and the Magician is the alchemist, using all of the energy, all of the things that we need here on this plane to create and manifest reality, our world, our life. You are this person. You are the alchemist. You are finding this balance within yourself, allowing yourself to open up to it, allowing yourself to answer your calling and not be ashamed, to shine that light from within yourself. Spirit, can we get some more information with the Oracle about this alchemy and this energy that we have present with the moon and the sun? I just heard Castle by the Sea. So yeah, maybe you're dreaming of this, that kind of energy of being protected. Yeah, castles have really thick, well-protected walls. But by the sea, you know, you're still connected to the ocean and that deep cleansing energy. Let's see. Supermoon with attraction. With the number 44. So yeah, calling in this divine energy as you sit with yourself and examine where you want to go. What's your calling? What are you attracted to? And looking straight at it. Let's see here. The person's looking straight at the moon, the super moon. That I'm feeling this like gravitational pull, right? That what pulls you in. How can we discover that in small ways, Spirit? How can we discover that in our small space for ourselves in our everyday lives. Oh, there's one flipped over. Gratitude. Aw. Yeah, having gratitude for, oh, okay, so there's an elder's hand and a younger person's hand. And giving gratitude to the things that you've learned, the cycles you've been through, the cycles that your elders have been through, the things that they've taught you, the things that the ones that have gone before us have learned and left behind and taught us to help us navigate this place, this realm. Having gratitude for that will attract in higher energy, will attract in opportunities for you to choose how you want to show up in your life and what will be built in your life. Spirit, can we get any final messages from the Oracle? Okay. Oh, I love this card. How beautiful. The Thunder Moon with change. So yeah, there's this deep, deep change coming into your life. Passion, this passion coming in. Changing the way you look at things, changing the way you look at yourself. Changing the way that you look at external influences. And what lights you up? What gives you strength? And what maybe just is an illusion of those things. Trust that you can make this change. Spirit says, I'm here guiding you. The Spirit is here guiding you. So now I'm hearing, you know, Michael Jackson's song, The Man in the Mirror, and how he talks about if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. So yeah, you're gonna have to choose. And whether or not you choose to look at this right now and make this choice right now, it's not gonna go away. There will come a change. And the more that you know and understand who you are, the better you'll be able to navigate this change with gratitude and realization that this is for your calling, for your the thing that is yours to do in your life, whatever that is, whatever that is. So whoever this message was for, I hope this has helped. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you feel so called. Let me know how this resonated for you in the comments. Share this video with anyone you think it would bring benefit to. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.